So it's National Sleep Awareness Week, obviously created by people who don't sleep. That used to be me. So I take my sleep very, very seriously. I have a number of sleep videos available for you guys to watch. I've done a lot on sleep in both the Omni Diet and the Brain Warriors Way on how to assess what's like robbing you of sleep and then how to fix it. But even with all those videos, I constantly have people write to me at the bottom of, those videos in the comment section, or they write to me individually and say, can you just tell me what you do for sleep? So I'm just gonna sit here and tell you what I do to go to sleep. Now, I will start with this. It's different for everybody because actually part of it depends on your brain type. So if you're anxious versus somebody who is depressed, or if you take a certain type of medication and that's what's keeping you from sleeping, all of those things are gonna matter. All right, but I'm gonna sort of weave that in and just tell you what I do. The reason that I started suffering with not being able to sleep so well is because of my thyroid condition. They keep me on high doses of thyroid, and that tends to keep me a little bit amped up, so my mind kind of works a little bit fast, and I'm naturally pretty high strung anyways. So, but where I didn't used to have sleep problems, now I do. So what I started doing is thinking about what can I do, because I do that with everything. I sort of attack problems, figure out what's going on, and figure out what I can do to change it. So the first thing you want to do, make sure your room is completely dark, make sure there are no lights on, make sure you have a routine, because routines and rituals are really helpful for sleeping. They're really helpful for a lot of things, but when it comes to sleep, you want to make sure that your circadian rhythm, that's the time in your head that your body thinks you're supposed to go to sleep and wake up. Make sure your circadian rhythm is constantly on track. That's why you'll hear people say, well, if I go to bed at 2 a.m., I'm still gonna wake up at 6. If I go to bed at 9, I'm still gonna wake up at 6. If I go to bed at 2 a.m., I'm gonna wake up at 6. That's because their circadian rhythm is programmed for them to wake up at 6. It likes routine. So that's why you want to get into a routine and ritual. So try to go to bed around the same time every night if you can, or you're going to find that your sleep is going to be disrupted. Try to get up close to the same time every day if you can, within reason, if you can do that. Now, when it comes to my bedtime routine, I like to start to wind down a couple of hours before bed. Like everybody knows, don't bring me a bunch of drama or a bunch of big problems to solve at night, because it'll get me wound up and I won't sleep, and I don't really like doing that. So unless it's really urgent, I try to avoid that. That's my time to relax, spend time with my family, and I start that a couple hours in advance. I found this amazing stuff called sleepy tea. There's different types. There's bedtime tea, sleepy time tea. Sleepy tea, I just like this one. It's got valerian in it. If valerian gives you weird dreams and you don't like it, then you need to know that, because it does have valerian in it. It doesn't bother me at all. It's got lavender, valerian, and a few other things in it, and I actually really like it. It works really well. But there are different types. So I take that tea, and I like my little coffee press. This is part of my ritual. I dump the tea in. I really like sort of a tea with a bite to it, with a little bit of a kick to it. I put just a little sprinkle of cayenne pepper in it. Cayenne pepper is not only really good for you, but it just gives my tea sort of a kick. I know a lot of people reach for things like alcohol at night. Problem with that is they want the alcohol to help them relax and go to sleep. I used to be one of those people. I was a nurse, I worked night shift. Shift work can be one of those things that really robs you of sleep. The problem with reaching for alcohol is it's gonna put you to sleep, but it causes this rise and then drop in blood sugar, and when that happens, it tends to wake people up. So in the middle of the night, and that's not a good thing. So I like fresh ginger in my tea. This is a microplaner. Watch out if you're gonna use this. I've shaved off my knuckle before. That's not gonna help you sleep. So I shave a little bit of ginger. People always ask me, well, how much do you put in? There's no rule, okay? So I just put some in there, because ginger, not only, again, I like that sort of peppery taste, but it's anti-inflammatory. So it's one of the things that you want to be always thinking about is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. So inflammation is a big sleep robber because it causes pain and it causes cognitive issues. So I put a little bit of ginger in there. And then I like to play with spices. I might put a little bit of stevia in it just to sweeten it. I'll put some vanilla stevia, but I like saffron threads. Now they're a little pricey, so some people don't like them, but I like to put just a few saffron threads in there. The other thing that I put oftentimes I'll put things like cardamom or nutmeg, fun things like that into the tea, because it's this ritual. It's a nighttime ritual. My daughter and I make tea together at night. We cuddle up, we watch a little show together before bed, and that's our sort of wind down time, or we just sit and chat, and we don't chat about things that stress us out. So that is my tea. The other thing that I do, I make sure that I have a great sleep mask. There are different types, there are gel, there's whatever. My favorite is made by Lewis & Clark because it doesn't make my face sweat, quite honestly. I wear a sleep mask and I wear the Swimmer's earplugs. They're the silicone earplugs that mold to my ear. I told you I was not kidding about my sleep. So I use these and they block out almost all the noise. So they're really good. It took me a while to get used to them, but once I got used to them, it's like, oh, this is so great because I wake up if there's like any noises outside, if a dog barks or anything happens. So that way I can sleep really well. And then I take 3 restful sleep. You can take up to 4 of these. Never start with that. Start with 1 or 2, see how it does for you. And that is my sleep routine. That's what I do to go to sleep. That doesn't give me a hangover in the morning. Taking sleeping pills will often leave you hungover in the morning. So I would strongly recommend during this National Sleep Awareness Week that you start focusing on your sleep. We're gonna offer you 20% off of our restful sleep starting on Tuesday if you just want to use the promotional code that's on the screen. And happy sleeping, sweet dreams, and catch some Z's.